Hello everyone and welcome back to another F1 2021 video of sorts. It's another F1 related video on the channel. You guys seem to be enjoying it a lot, so I thought I'd sit down, start another project up and let's see where it goes. So today we've got the F1 2022 season as predicted by the F1 2021 game. So you may be thinking to yourself, how does that work? And you may be as confused as this guy on screen right now. But I'll explain how it works. I've got a couple of adjustments to go through first. So obviously, for 2022, there are a couple of changes. Valtteri Bottas moved to Alfa Romeo. George Russell moved to Mercedes. Guan Yu Zhou made his debut, or is going to make his debut, at Alfa Romeo. And Alex Albon moves to Williams. So how's this going to work in the 2021 game? Well, so I'm going to make some adjustments. So Valtteri Bottas will take the role of Kimi Räikkönen, George Russell will take the role of Valtteri Bottas, Guan Yu Zhou will take the role of Antonio Giovinazzi, and Alex Albon will take the role of George Russell in game. So any time that Kimi Räikkönen, for example, would finish, I don't know, 6th, it's probably a bit too high, no disrespect to Kimi at all, it would actually be Valtteri Bottas instead. You'll see how it works. I've sort of edited the photos. Yeah, you'll just see how it works. So first of all, these are the settings that I've used for each race. So what I've done is I've not created a career mode for this project. I have created a Grand Prix mode. I obviously didn't create it, but you know what I mean. Like, I used a Grand Prix mode to do all the races, and luckily it does all the standings for me, so I didn't have to worry about the maths or anything, because that would have made the process much longer. So this is the weekend settings, the weekend structure. Practice is off, just to make it a bit quicker. Practice doesn't do anything anyway. Qualifying is one shot, and the session length is medium, so the race is 25% of the actual length in real life. I'm not sure if this affected things in the future. You'll see how things may have adjusted based on these settings, but these are the settings I used for the experiment, and I'm pretty happy with the result. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I think it's been quite a decent experiment. So this is the track list for the 2022 season in real life, as you can see. So we start off with Bahrain, go to Saudi Arabia, then Australia, go to Imola, then we've got Miami, and obviously Miami's not in the game yet, so I've had to use USA twice in this calendar, so it's a bit unfortunate, but what can you do? You can read the rest there if you want. So there's 23 races. Let's get into it. So first of all, I have to apologise to any Mick fans who are wanting a good, realistic view of the race, but unfortunately, he he had to be the sacrifice, because I had to pick a driver to pick, and unfortunately it was Mick. So anyone hoping that Mick would be getting some points or anything, or see how this experiment goes, unfortunately it's not your day today. We could try another time with Mick, without Mick, and we'll see how it goes. But let's get into the results then. So round 1 is Bahrain. So this is what you'll see every round. You'll see who got pole, who got fastest lap, and obviously who won the race, and the race results going up to 14th. So as you can see, poorly edited, but you're going to have to deal with it. So we've got Lewis Hamilton first, Max Verstappen second, and George Russell in third with his new team Mercedes. And you can see at the bottom in 14th, Valtteri Bottas has made his way onto the leaderboard there, so that's good for him. So the first race goes to Lewis Hamilton. Now on to Saudi Arabia. It's a triple, I'm going to say this probably quite a lot in this video, but it's a triple lockout for Max Verstappen getting pole, fastest lap, and eventually winning the race. Obviously this went very different in real life in the 2021 season. Let's see if maybe that could happen in next season. Let's see. So he takes home the full 26 points. Now on to Australia. Obviously we didn't have this in the 2021 season due to Corona, unfortunately. But it's another triple lookout for Max Verstappen, getting the full 26 points there. And you can see at the bottom, Guan Yu Zhou has snuck his way into the leaderboard there in 14th. So it's good for him. Will we see any more of him? Let's see. On to round 4, we've got Imola. This time it's another triple lockout, but this time for Lewis Hamilton. Very good performance from him in this race, as you can see. And yeah, let's carry on. So round 5 in quote-unquote Miami. It's just the US Grand Prix. Max Verstappen gets the triple lockout again. You may be sensing a pattern here with the top 4 in particular. But let's move on. So Max Verstappen takes the full 26 points there again. Now on to Spain. It is Lewis Hamilton again, another triple lockout. Yeah, so you may be sensing the pattern here, but yeah, so 26 points for Lewis Hamilton there. Now on to Monaco. Lewis takes pole, but is Max who comes out on top with the full 26 points again with the fastest lap. Just over, was about 2 tenths for fastest lap, so Max has absolutely flown there. Fair play to him in round 7. Now on to round 8 in Azerbaijan. Lewis Hamilton with another triple lockout again. It seems to alternate really. It's either Max or Lewis, which, as it is in real life, I guess you could say. We'll see if this dominance goes into the 2022 season from both drivers. It'd be great to see another fight like it was this year. Let's hope it's clean and fair, of course, as that was what any spectator would want to see. So Valtteri Bottas makes it onto 14th again. I've probably missed him out a couple times already, but he's there again, so that's good for him. On to round 9 in Canada. Obviously didn't have this in 2021 either, due to the what I mentioned before. Won't say it again, but yep. And it's Max again who takes the win. He's on pole, but Lewis somehow gets the fastest lap there. So I don't know what happened there, but Lewis was quicker, but Max was on top. So on to round 10, it's his home Grand Prix, so you'd expect him to do a triple lockout, and he does. It's Lewis Hamilton again, getting fastest lap, ending up on pole, and winning the race. So a perfect weekend for him there. On to round 11, it's Austria, so it's Red Bull's sort of home Grand Prix in a way, yes, and it's Max with the triple lockout, so you can see a sort of pattern there. Maybe if there's a home advantage, I don't know if that's coded into the game, but it's there for us to see. So fastest lap for Max, and on to France. It's pole for Lewis and fastest lap for Max, and Max winning the race. So on to round 13, Hungary. Once again, it's another triple lockout for Max. And yeah, Valtteri Bottas making his way onto the leaderboard just about again there, which is good for him. And on to round 14 in Belgium. Hopefully we get a race this year. Obviously 2021 there was the massive downpour, and can allow for the race to happen. So yeah, you can see the results are quite similar, as we're about the halfway point through the season. Obviously, round 13 was halfway point, but I'll make the point now. It's quite, consistent, the results. I don't know if that's got anything to do with the settings I put on. Maybe the medium race has sort of, tampered with the results a little bit. But it's the same top 4 every single time. So whether either you're a Red Bull fan or Mercedes fan or any other fan, you can sort of tell that it's going to be Red Bull versus Mercedes again in 2022, according to the game. So to round 15, it's the Dutch Grand Prix. It's Max's home Grand Prix, and you'd expect him to win. But Lewis actually took pole on Saturday, and then Max decided to turn up on Sunday and win the entire race, so fair play to him in front of all the orange fans. Well, that's a massive voice crack. I won't edit that out because that's perfect. All of the orange fans. So on to round 16. In Monza, Max took pole, but it was Lewis who took the fastest lap and the win. No surprises there, and Valtteri makes his way onto the leaderboard again. I've somehow managed to pick that up every single time. On to round 17 in Russia. It's a similar story again. So Lewis takes pole, but Max climbs back in the race on Sunday. So maybe Red Bull have the race pace this year, according to the game. So let's move on to round 18 in Singapore. I think this will be a very great race to watch in real life. And you may notice one exception on the leaderboard there. It was actually George Russell. I think he had an engine failure or crashed out in this race because he's not on the leaderboard, so that's a huge blow for Mercedes in the constructors fight there. Because almost every race, I think every race, Red Bull or Mercedes have occupied the top 4 spots. So it's good for McLaren and Lando Norris to sneak his way into P4 there, but it's Max who takes the win. Onto Japan, it is the Honda Grand Prix, even though they're not in F1 next year, they're sort of helping Red Bull out, so it's there's still some sort of connection there for Red Bull, and it's Max who has another triple lockout, as I like to say nowadays. On to round 20, the actual USA Grand Prix. George Russell outperforms Lewis Hamilton this race, so don't know what's going on there, but it's another triple lockout for Max. So I think you can sort of see where this championship may be heading, but you never know. The game is crazy sometimes. On to Mexico now. And it was Lewis on pole again, but Max had that race pace again to sneak into first, and it is now going on to the penultimate race. It is Brazil, or Sao Paulo Grand Prix, and Lewis is absolutely adored by the Brazilian fans, and he had to take pole and he had to win the race, really. You know, it just sort of made sense. But Max pipped him to the best lap time, or fastest lap time, by how many is that? About 4 thousandths, is that? Absolutely, you know, so close that. And now on to the final race of the season. Will the championship be wrapped up here, or has it already been wrapped up? We don't know. But on to Abu Dhabi now, and it's Max, another triple lockout, and it's fantastic. I don't know what's happened to George Russell there, but he's fallen down now, down to 6th. Not a great race for Mercedes, but a fantastic one for Red Bull again. So, make your predictions now in the comments. Who do you think won the title and the constructors? Well, if you said Max Verstappen, you were right, because it's Max who won with 541 points. That is so dominant, it's absolutely outrageous. And Lewis Hamilton with 465 points as well, so it was a 76-point gap there. So if Lewis maybe didn't bottle it on Sunday a couple times, maybe he could have won. But this is the final results. So George Russell in a very respectable P3, quite a decent season for him. Only 5 points between him and Perez, so a very, very good debut season according to F1 2021. Charles Leclerc is level with points with Daniel Ricciardo there. He's just nipped him to P6 in the championship. That'll be very favourable for Ferrari fans. Is there any surprising results there? I think Fernando Alonso in P9, I think that's very good from him. Esteban Ocon in 12th, only getting 1 point. It's quite surprising. I don't think that would happen in real life. But yeah, it's crazy. So, Valtteri Bottas in 15th. Could we see that in real life? We'll see how the cars are in real life. But that's quite an interesting result there. Guan Yu Zhou in 16th, above both the Williams. So maybe the game is predicting that Alfa Romeo is going to have a stronger package than Williams, and Haas still in dead last. That was awful. But I feel like I think Haas will be. This is my own opinion now. I think in 2022, I think Haas will be up there because they've spent the whole season working on the 2022 car. So I reckon they will have a good car, and I reckon Mick and Mazepin will get a couple good points finishes in 2022. But that's what the game has predicted. So in a very dramatic fashion, we're pulling away the curtains, and it's Max Verstappen, the 2022 world champion. So he gets his second world title, 2 consecutively. So could we see maybe an era of dominance like Seb Vettel, 2010 to 2013? Maybe a couple more years of Max Verstappen yet we've got. So here are the constructors' standings. Yeah, I wouldn't have predicted that Red Bull would have won it, but I think the margin that Max had at the top really sealed the championship for Red Bull. But the game is predicting that McLaren's going to have a very good season in 3rd, followed by Ferrari, then Alpine, then AlphaTauri, and then Aston Martin. So And then Alfa Romeo, Williams and Haas getting no points at all. So we'll see how that pans out in real life. But let's see. So to finish off the video, I'm going to show you another dramatic slideshow transition there. Some final interesting statistics. It was the most poles was obviously taken by Max Verstappen there, getting 13. Hamilton getting 10. Obviously, if you use simple maths, 23 minus 13 is 10. And then most fastest laps was Verstappen again with 15. So a very dominant season from Max there, as predicted by the game. So in the comments, if you want to, you can leave your suggestions for any more F1 videos you want to see. Maybe if you want to make your own predictions for the season coming up, I'll have a look at them and then I'll critique them myself. Masterclass here from me. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I thought that was quite an interesting little video to record and make for you all, and I hope you enjoyed it. So thank you all for watching. Maybe go watch the simulated 10 years video I did a couple times. Have a look on the channel for that if you want. If you haven't watched it already, I think it's quite a similar video to this. It's sort of like another experiment sort of video. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and have a great day, guys. All right, see you later.